Hello guys, glad to have you on board again. Today we're going to do a quick overview, but I'm going to go straight to the conclusion when it comes to the stock market. Unfortunately today there's nothing else to do but just standing by, because volatility gamblers are still at the game. They're still selling heavily no matter how dangerous this game is. They're still here and they're still playing that nasty game. So as long as this is the motive right now, which means volatility short sellers are making it through, meaning that it's the tail moving the cat, but that's exactly how it is right now. So just let it go, all right? It's a dangerous game. I know some people, me included, absolutely want to fight that because it's unethical and irrational and everything like that. I definitely want to do it, but once again, remember that what you feel can be dangerous at some point. Some emotions are just normal. You are human, so you're always going to feel emotions, and thinking that you should turn them down is an absolute stupidity. So you live with your emotions because that's what you are. So the thing is, some emotions are basically irrational and dangerous. So what we're going to do today is talking about those emotions, because they are really the actual motive right now. So we're not going to do intraday scenarios today because there's nothing to do. So like I said, VIX is down, those guys are playing. Just look at this, all right? It's a simple questions. VIX bearish engulfing yesterday just doesn't fit my plan because it is not supposed to happen, but still it's there and the candle is here and I cannot avoid that. So technically speaking, I cannot trade anymore, because until we invalidate what's been done yesterday, short sellers have it under control. And I'm thinking and I'm betting on the fact that they won't have it for long, but apparently they just won another game yesterday, just another point. It's not even a match to play. It's not even this battle, and the war is pretty far from being over, but still they've been making a point yesterday. So they've been making a hit, and so far I need to step down. That doesn't mean I'm taking any losses. All I'm saying is that I can't do anything. I cannot sell the stock market because that will be increasing my personal risk, and I don't want to do that. So until further notice, I put every fucking hold back in the game for the intraday scenarios, simply because I see those guys playing the same old dangerous game. As we're getting closer to the expiration, they're doing anything they can to prevent any problem. Let's set things really straight, all right? Why are those guys very aggressive? Because they know if they don't have it under control, it's going to be like the shit hitting the fan. They don't have enough money to get the hell out, so they've been selling billions with leverage and taking high level of risks in here. And obviously, if the market goes there, they're ruined. They cannot pay. They cannot get out because there are not enough billions in this market to buy them out, to sell them out, because they sold. So if they want to get out, they have to buy, all right? This is what you understand. Guys who are short selling aggressively on the VIX, they've been playing all these dangerous games in here. The risk is increasing, definitely is, and it's a parabolic risk-taking structure in which they take and they require even more money to manipulate those prices to the downside. So they better hope that we reach out to the expiration, because the expiration just settles in everything. Everybody who is selling and everybody who is buying is paying the counterpart. But the problem is, anything that happens in between is speculation. So if we get in here without problem, which means its volatility just maintains its coolness and everything is great for the next following days, then good for them. They're gonna be safely getting the hell out of this new month and play that same shit the next month. Until at some point it won't be working out. The problem is, if that happens before the expiration, like I said, they're selling, which means they're gonna have to pay the settling price, all right? Or selling their contracts, or rebuying their contracts, I mean sending them to someone else, all right? So the thing is that that's how futures market works, okay? The future market starts trading at the beginning of the expiration, and when we reach out the actual end of expiration, this is what we call the settlement. We settle down on the price, and whoever has the bearish contracts will have to pay the difference to bullish contracts out of the open price. So it's simple as that, all right? Whoever bought will have to be paid. Whoever sold will have to pay for those who bought, right? And if the inflow is positive, obviously that's in the side. If the inflow is negative, then definitely that's the opposite. That's the one who's been shorting that's going to have to pay for the buyers. All right? As simple as that. That's how it works. That's how futures market works. We have a selling price at the expiration, and whoever was on those contracts will have to pay for what they've been trading. All right? So the thing is that they better hope volatility doesn't rise, because if it rises, they're going to have to pay those who bought the volatility contracts. So they're selling billions of them with leverage, obviously, because that's what they do. They're parabolic risk-taking, so obviously they need even more money to control prices as the buyers are pressuring further away in time. All right, that's just like the 2008 AIG bubble. All right, they're selling insurance for the contracts that are pricing irrationally. So remember what we've done in 2008. We were doing CBSs. So the thing is that we were pulling shit together to put it in a AAA grade so people can buy it massively, and we made sure that they don't look inside. All right, it's just we bulk things and we sell them with a nice stamp. We put a good stamp. All right, it's good product. Let's go for it. This is no risk. You go ahead. That's what we do today with the ETF. They are poured in with tons of shit that may lose valuation, but still, you don't look at this. You look at the ETF pricing, and they're going up. So, man, that's safe. That's AAA, and what's in there? Apples, good names, big names. So even if it goes down, and that's not that bad, all right? So we're ETF selling those shits to whoever is stupid enough to buy that, and obviously our good old stupid retail traders are buying this more than ever. Just look at this. We're making even new highs yesterday on the ETF's volume. Great! Everything's fine. Don't worry, the shit will come. So it's just a matter of time, and time is a bitch in trading. So let's get back to this, all right? Those guys who are doing this, it's the exact 2008 parabolic schemes replicate. So we bulk things that are not good with things that are good so far, so the overall thing looks good, even though if you look on the inside, it's not bright, and it's not that bright. So that's exactly, all right, the CBS of 2008 are the ETFs of 2019, all right? So now, what are the CDOs, all right? The CDOs back then were insurance that those products, if they fail, would be compensated by some insurance contracts, the CDOs. So what has been done back then, AIG, and we knew the name after the war, because that's what happens. The invisible hand who is shorting volatility today is invisible until the day the water flows out. Because when the water flows out, we'll know who's been taking the big losses, because they won't be able to hide that. All right? So those guys who are playing the dangerous games on volatility, when the game will end, when they'll lose the battle, we'll know who they were. And they cannot hide forever. They're playing with shit tons amount of money. It's going to be seen. So when they lose, we'll know who this was. We'll know who the 2018 AIG was, or probably the 2020. It could be next year. I don't know. All I can tell is that the parabolic risk-taking is there, and it's not going to end well. And those guys who are playing this dangerous game, they better have to stop right in time, because if they don't, we'll know who they were, because they will have gone way too far. This is what this is how it is. We've been doing this. It's because of human psychology. We're parabolically stupid, and that's exactly it. We can see this is no robot doing this. This is humans, and greedy humans who are doing this, and it's not going to end well for them, because they can't stop. But the game has an end, and when the end will come, somebody will pay, and we'll know who this is by the day this thing goes wrong. So the AIG of 2019 or 2020 or the years to come, we'll know who they are, and they playing with the VIX definitely, because the VIX is no more than the insurance about ETF. So it's just the same old game, the same old parabolic scheme thing. All right, we are bulking shit together with this nowadays shit is overbought stocks like the apples and all those shits. We're pulling them with leverage into assets, into bulky assets that we sell to inexperienced traders, and we're backing them with some VIX, which means we say, no worries, if there is some problem, you can just buy some VIX. VIX is cheap, so let's buy some VIX, no problem. You buy some ETF and you buy some VIX, and when the shit hit the fans, if it ever hit the fans, no worry, you'll be covered. because we sell you the insurance. Just like back then, whoever's been buying the CDOs from AIG just lost a shit ton of money because the CBS went bankruptcies, obviously, they're worth shit, and the insurance you took, the CDOs, to compensate for that shit, then AIG wasn't able to pay. That's exactly what's happened nowadays. All right? Those guys who are buying some stocks and thinking that they'll just have to buy some puts from the insurance sellers, then they'll be safe because if anything goes wrong, then they'll be paid by the insurer. But the guys who are selling the contracts, the guys who are selling the puts at very tiny prices, they won't be able to pay you. They won't be able to pay the insurance, just like back then AIG just went bankruptcy when the shit hit the fan because they didn't have enough money to pay for the CDOs they've been selling. So the guys who are selling VIX today, they're playing the same game on a different perspective, on a different asset. But that's the same game. Just take the 2008 lessons, then the market never learned anything because probably the same type of guy are doing the same type of shit just 10 years later. So that's exactly it. The parabolic scheme is here. We all know how it's going to end. It is just we don't know when. And that's the big problem, all right? So you play by the rule. Now take the lesson out of the Big Short movie. If you're playing the Big Short way, then you're going to be playing fucking trade for a long time before being proven right, and that's not how you want to do it. Definitely not, all right? You don't play it. The actual information coming out of the Big Short is that you should never do this. You don't fight the market. The guys are doing irrational. What you do is that you spread the risk into specific timings in which you have decent odds to fuck them up. If you don't, you get the hell out, you take your tiny loss, and you start all over again. You don't hold against them. All right? You just wait for moments in which shit can be along the way. Like there. This is where you buy the VIX. This is where you bet against them. Someday it will work. Most of the time it will fail because they're stronger than you and they'll do anything they can to push you away. They'll win many battles. So far they've been winning probably 80% of my battle. But still, I'm making money. Because when I win the 20%, when they've gone too far, I'm making a lot of money. So that's exactly how it works. But if you do hold the losses, this is where the nasty part shows up. You're doing the exact same stuff as in the movie, and you know how it ends. It's painful, it's irrational, it drives you crazy until the day you get proven right. All right? So that's not how it's supposed to work. That's not what I teach you guys in here. You don't hold those stuff, but you price in as very specific moments when you have signals suggesting they might be wrong. And if they're not wrong, then you play again the next time. You take your tiny loss and you play all over again until it works. That's how it's going to be done. That's how I do this. But the problem is that's how it has to be done as well with the SPX. But in the SPX, I'm holding the risk so far because that's in the risk management. So once again, I'm not holding forever and we're nearly reaching out the limits I'm ready to hold. The question is it going to work out this time or not? If I'm fucked, I'm going to be taking my loss and start again the next time. But in here, I think some things are not working right. So what I have, what happened yesterday is absolutely out of what I expected. Definitely won't. I mean, in here to me, it's a selling signal. It's a selling activity. It's an price area in which normally the stock market should have been selling. It didn't. And instead of this, we've been rising again up to resistances. So it's the same old game. The guys have been saying, okay, you know what? Everything's fine. We'll cover you if problems show up. So don't worry. Just buy the stock market. It's not going to fail ever. So far it's working just fine. All right. I need to be honest. I'm cold facts in here. Prices are not falling. They're not rising either for now, but they're not falling. So that's how it is. Until they fall, I will not trade short again in the SPX because I'm having losses right now. I've been partial loss taking already. I still have a little tiny bit in the market for now. I'm just hoping they will hold as long as possible. But what I see in here isn't good. Once again, look at this 1 hour chart trend. This is the one that's been fucking me up since the beginning. This trend is still in place. In here, we could have been settled in and fucked it, that trend. We failed. They took it over by selling the VIX, once again, obviously. And here we are, back under resistances, and everything's fine. So this game is dangerous. We know it is, because it's the exact same game that's been putting the financial crisis in 2008. So that's the big problem. And once again, it's coming out of the exact same economic area. This comes from the US. Only the US play the game like that. You never see a European trade manager doing some kind of stuff. It's just the golden boys. Some stupid guys, young, unexperienced, greedy as hell, having some dangerous leverage. Just take the profiles of the guys who were working at AIG back then. There wasn't senior traders. There were just young, stupid guys fooled with dreams of huge and easy money amounts. That's exactly what it was. And those same guys are playing right now. So let them go, let them play. I know I'll win the game anyway, just like in 2008. I wasn't trading back then, but I know how I would have done. And I'm doing this just like that. I know the guys will lose some money in the end, but they won't lose their money. They're obviously going to lose the money of their clients, and they're going to fly away with nice bonuses. But those guys doesn't have ethic. They're not here for ethical things. They're here for short-term profits. They're going to get in, take the millions, and get the hell out and leave you with the shit. So the thing is that you don't want to be the guys who will catch up on the shit. You just want to be the guys who will patiently wait to trade against those guys until the day they'll go too far. AIG kind of problem. But once again, take the lesson. You don't do it the big short kind of way. Talking about the movie, all right? You don't go all in and you don't hold the trades. You hold for a certain amount of time with a certain risk management. And as I said, if we go further than that, I'm out. And I'm going to be in later on, but definitely not indefinitely. All right? These guys' irrationality can be taking a long time to process because those guys have no limits. Their only limit is by the time the shit will hit the fan. They'll do anything they can to keep playing this game for as long as they'll be able to do it until they take too much risk and the shit will hit the fan. And then they'll get the hell out, they're going to be fired, and they're just going to fly away with their nasty bonuses and leave you with it. These guys don't give a shit about the stock market. These guys knows they just want to take a shit ton of money and fly out. Alright, that's what they'll do. That's exactly what they do. When the shit hit the fan, they will make all the guys who've been investing in the riskier assets take the losses. And they'll fly away. These guys don't give a shit about anything. They don't want to be traders. They're here to take money. They're dream catchers. They're Trumps. All right? They're little Trumps playing with billions in the stock market. So that's dangerous, obviously. That's why I fear Trump, because this guy is exactly behaving like those guys. It's here for short-term profits. And what they do is take shit tons of bonuses, and they know that any fucking way they're gonna hold to those bonuses and let everyone else deal with the shit. That's exactly how it's playing right now. So let's imagine that. A dangerous golden boy, a set of dangerous golden boys are at play in Wall Street. They're selling volatility. We can definitely see that right now, and this is growth at that point. But that's how it is. It's growth. It's stupid, and we can definitely know that this is that kind of profile who's behind the wheels. This is no robots. This is humans who are selling volatility, and they're inducing robots' behaviors because robots trade what they see. They see VIX down, so they're buying stocks. That's how it is. So the robots are following guys who are pricing in very dangerously, probably some things. I don't know for sure, obviously. This is just speculation. But all I can say is that all the technicals are not priced in. So something irrational is in here. And I know how risk-taking is done by professionals. Because, I mean, I know how professional traders works. It's just nothing like a professional traders behind the wheels in here. This is just probably like golden boys who've been learning trading a few months from now, a few years from now, and they're making shit tons of money. So they have delusional behaviors. They're greedy, and they've basically lost every fucking ground. They don't even know that they're trading with billions right now, and that they're trading with their clients' billions with enormous leverage, and that it will obviously collapse. They don't know it because they don't think about it. They don't even think about the collapse. They're just thinking, all right, if I can make it until tomorrow, that's great. And if I can make it until the end of that month, then I'm gonna get shitty, greedy bonuses. That's all they think. That's what they think. You know how it's gonna end. Obviously, because, I mean, 2008 is here to teach you, and it's just the same old shit, all right? So anyway, lesson, I hope you understand that. I'm going to finish with crypto. So all the stock market is fucked up until those guys get the hell out, because their parabolic scheme is starting to dampen. As you can see, VIX is dampening the losses. We can't even cross below the 13 level. The stock market is dampening the gains as well. So risk is increasing, valuations are lowering. At some point, we'll have a decision to make. Either the bubble takes in. I don't really think it's possible. All those guys will be proven wrong, and it's going to be ugly. So it's the black swan kind of thing. It's systematic risk, because those guys, they won't be able to pay for what they're selling. Let's be honest. That's a systematic risk on the VIX. I've been telling you since the beginning. The day those guys will be proven wrong, and it will obviously come. It's just a matter of time. I just don't know when. All I can tell is that there is a riskier timing right now that we need to get through. So it's hard to say. It's all concentrated about regarding the 15th of April and this current area. Something ugly can happen in here. I don't know if it's going to happen. All I can tell is I'm definitely speculating in that objective. I'm not saying it will right or wrong. Future will tell. So obviously I'm sorry, but yeah, no intraday trades on the stock market until we have the answer, because these guys, no matter how stupid this is, yesterday was a timing for us to go down. They decided to put more money in and just turn down the fire once again. So let them do, all right? You don't fight that. I'll let them in their stupid behaviors. So now let's talk about cryptos. We've got a little bit of stuff to say before leaving you guys in here. So the cryptos in here, they're going down. We were expecting such thing to be possible recently. Remember that? All right, so let's have a quick rational look in here. Obviously, some people will say it's normal to go down because we went up for bad reasons and everything like that. All right, exactly the last time we've been dropping all the valuation, but still we've been holding a higher low. So are we about to do this once again? I mean, retracing in here, finding a new dip out of 150? Maybe. Yeah, we can go down and build a higher low in here until we're going to get to manage our way up. I don't know. All I can tell is that in terms of risk management, I see nothing to do here. But those who are short-term trading, those who were buying those lows, playing the breakouts, as you can see, we failed the breakout so far. We get into the resistant context and we don't manage to accelerate. So we're pulling back, which means those who got in, they're already out. Those who are in for a longer run, like me, we're still in. We have a new support to manage your risk. So you're here, you have average price below the support. Put yourself in a goddamn break-even. Do you even trade anything like here? Look at where we are. We're protected by this support. So as long as we are, you put the goddamn stop at break-even and you get the hell out. I mean, I see nothing to do in here. We could build a supporter in here. We can build a support at lower. Anytime we just don't break this one, we're fine. So the stop loss in here costs you nothing because this is the entry price. I suggest you just stick to that. I see absolutely no reason to do anything in here but just partial profit taking if you have low risk profiles. But that's it. I see absolutely no fucking reason to do anything but just let it go. Short term is pullbacking because we've done the breakout. So the breakout traders are now out of this market. We're lacking of momentum, but still, do we have sellers? The question is that. Yet the buyers might be lacking some strength. We still don't have the extended wave. But remember that trading is bulls and bears strength battle at every fucking time. When the bulls are overcoming the bears, prices are moving up. When the bears are overcoming the bulls, prices are moving down. When we have very few of them, all right? What we have right now is short-term speculators pushing prices higher and lower on a 15-minute basis because once again, volatility is here, so the gamblers are back in the game. The guys who are playing intraday trades with high fees, and I mean, you don't do intraday trades in the cryptos. That doesn't even make sense. But still, some people want to play that game, so let them do it. We'll flush them out because normally, if you're with me on that scenario, you're having mid-term vision and long-term visions in the game, no short-term trades. So I don't give a shit about the short-term speculators. I think it's irrational and way too dangerous to get back in this game right now as volatility remains low and subdued. In here, everybody thinks the volatility is back in the game and that it's about time to speculate again on the cryptos. I've been clear about that. That's not even a point. There might be some volatility left to price in, a final burst of volatility before probably dying in for most probably 6 months to maybe a year. All right? I think anytime we get there, nothing else will happen for a long time. And we're just halfway through. All right, so let me be honest. All right, I still give you my perspective. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. I stand for this. Remember, I'm just a speculative trader. All I do is managing my risk, not reading through future. All right, so let's take that as a big range. Okay, what are we pricing in right now? All right, this is where we bought, long-term bought. This is the first target I have for those speculative trades. I expect us to go 14.6 retracement, no more, no less. What is this? That's the previous low, so obviously the bears in here think they're going to sell us again because that was a previous support, so we can now test it as a resistance. Do you see any selling activity signal in here? Not at all. So are we going to sell in here to make new lows? That's possible, but still very less likely going to be, as I think the long-term buy and holders have been getting in here, and they're not going to sell until prices go there. So I think we're going to go there just because of this, because the buyers are stronger than sellers. Those who are selling right now are short-term selling. They're selling for expecting prices to go there, no more than that. Those who are buying in here are expecting prices to go 500, and I think they're way stronger than the short-term buyers, the short-term sellers. I don't know. Once again, this is speculative, so future will tell me. But all I can tell is that we've been accumulating way more fucking volume in here than the selling volume we might have right now. So in terms of strength, I think the short-term sellers, they're trying, and I can blame that for this, but they're short-term selling and hoping for new lows, as I think they're far less stronger than those who bought and hold and are targeting these areas. So I think we got far more odds to go there, and I think the range is just, we're trading the mid area, and you can very well expect that whenever we'll cross that 50 area, I don't know how it's going to be played. We can just go there once again. All right, we can even go there once again. I wouldn't be surprised. All right, but any fucking time soon, I think the target is there. So all I do is risk managing toward this target. So let's assess all the probabilities. All right, to me the most probable, we dampen a bit, we let the bears strengthen. I don't know where and how, but we're probably going to build another support in between. The next time we're going to try faking this resistance again. When we'll push through, it's going to be a straight line. Because everybody will see this, there's no resistance in there, so we're going to go straight line to the target. So kind of a wave 5 extended structure at play. So it can be long. And guess what? It can happen there, but it can also happen there. I don't know. I don't know about timing. I don't do timing. So the thing is that we can have some volatility dampening. We can have another desert crossing phase in here for weeks before actually getting the outburst. Does that do anything with your stop loss? Do you care? No. Remember that trading is binary. All right, when it comes to a trade that's been putting in, all right, shades of grays is when you get in and when you risk manage. Once you're in position, you don't do nothing until you've got two options, validation or invalidation. All right, we've gone higher, so we've reached out validation to May, which means stop at break even. Now there's only two options, confirmation or invalidation. Confirmation is for us to break through this mid part area of that big range, crossing through the 180 and accelerating through this. All right, that will be confirmation, and that would probably push us right to target. All right, or invalidation. I don't know why. I don't know what can push prices to the downside, but what are the odds? Far less odds that we go there than going there, obviously. But that doesn't mean this cannot happen. If it happens, it costs you $0 fucking because you're at your entry price. If it goes there, you take a nice gain. So it's playing a game of, do you want to pick a tiny amount of money right now, or do you want to respect your strategy and wait for the actual targets? You take the decision. That's your own decision. Once again, I'm not saying that there's only one way of trading. All I can tell you is that I'm aggressive. So I don't really give a shit about losing the growth gains I have right now. All I care about is reaching out to the target, because when I get to the target is where I profit take. Because that's the plan. That's how I do things. I see no reasons in here but just to risk manage if you are low risk profiles. You take some partial profits, 25, 30% tops, but you have to let yourself go towards the actual target. The actual final target is where you profit take, and to me, it's still that 14.6 retracement. The fact that we might be pulled back in here kind of makes sense. I don't really give a shit. All I'm saying is that we go there, I'm stopped out, and I'm going to buy again. I definitely will. I'll just trade another signal. But I think so far the one that we have, the one I have, sorry, is good enough to be holded. So why the hell would you like me to just drop it? I don't want to drop it. I think I have decent prices. I'm just going to let it go and wait for prices to prove me right or wrong. prices are king. I think right now, either they're going to get there, prove me wrong, and I'll just buy again later, or they're going to go there, prove me right, and fuck up the bears. That's simple as that. When we'll rise and when we'll surge rise in the Ethereum, it's just when the bears will surrender. So they obviously fight in here. They do anything they can, all right? That's an area for sellers. I can understand that. That's an area where selling activity is going to be stronger than the buying activity. Until those who are selling, just let it go. They'll surrender, and when they'll do, they'll have nothing else to sell but waiting for this area. So this is where we're going to have the wave 5 extended. I want this. I know that in these kind of scenarios and in those cryptos, waiting can be painful for you, because you want things to happen fast, because that's what you were used to back then, because it was a bubble. Now the bubble is over. The crash is probably over as well. So all you're going to have to be left with is noise and boring price action. Price action will be interesting at some tiny points. And I was clear, those who were short-term buying for the breakout, they must be out already. All right? Those who are playing longer game like I do, you're still not even reaching out to targets, so you don't even trade right now. You just let it go. Either the market takes down your stop loss and you start it over again by another entry price, or it works just fine and you're going to be profit taking. But if you profit take right now, all right, the difference is you've been paying for a swing risk. Remember back then the stop loss was pretty expensive, so now you'll be taking 35% gain. Once again, that's good. That's great. 35% gain, how enormous this is. But remember, I've been playing that scenario with low leverage, which means I'm not going to take 35% gain on the account. I'm 0.1 leverage, which means I'm taking a tenth of this. So taking profit today is going to bring me 3.5% capital gain. That's good, but that's not what I chase. What I'm chasing is this. I'm taking, oh, God damn it, I expect to take this, 12%. How better is that? So the question is this: do you want 3.5 right now, or do you want 12.5 when the scenario reaches out its actual target? The thing is that you need to think smart. Remember what we've done back then. We've been risk-taking. We've been pricing in. We've been calculating some risk. We're getting to this target. So if you happen taking the profits halfway through it, and we're not even halfway, we're just 1/3 away from the actual target. 1/4 away. So if you take your gains 1/4 away, and if you take the entire risk back then no, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. So you're in, you patience. You wait, because the scenario has only two options right now: taking down your stop loss at break even, you don't lose anything, or it reaches out to break this fucking area and validates and confirm your trade, and confirmation will lead you straight forward to actual profit taking. So that's I've been seeing quite a lot of markets so far. So I can tell you this is, when you're going to reach out confirmation, so when you'll be comfortably seated, knowing that the gain is very likely going to come, it's probably just going to take a couple of days. So in here, confirmation and profit taking in that scenario, I think, are going to come pretty fast. I don't know when. It can be 1 week from now, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months. I don't give a shit. All I know is that it's going to be fast in the end. It's probably going to be the last glimpse of hope in this market, the last burst of volatility before probably a dying market afterwards, because I expect that we're not going to break this area. We can upper shadow candle out of this, but I think anyway, after reaching out this level, it's going to be such a long pain trade afterwards, some desert crossing phase lasting probably many months afterwards. All right, or eventually even leading us to new lows. I don't even know. All I can tell is that normally we have to test this area if the crash is over. All right, future will tell. As so far, we're speculating. So whoever think he got the actual system, he understood everything, he figured it out, it broken the code, it cracked the code. All those guys are just freaking bullshitters. So just got them manage the risk. Do you risk anything right now with a stop at break even? The answer is no. So let it go. That's it for today. So unfortunately, stock market isn't being tradable. The forex market, therefore, is suffering some kind of divergences as well, because the risk taking is spreading all over the dollar scheme and everything like that. So the VIX is having problems in the pricing in the SPX. The SPX is having problem in the pricing in the dollar. So we do have problems all across the board. I just need those goddamn short sellers of volatility to get the fuck out, and so far they don't. So we wait. We know that the rollover that's coming over next week is the big problem for short sellers. We're just going to see if the problem shows up earlier or if we wait for the actual rollover and they'll win the game just one more time until the next one shows up. So wait for it. If you want to sell, like I said, you can go selling, you can profit take. I don't give a shit. All I'm waiting for now is to see where the market will build its new support. So all this short-term jitter, I'm looking at a 15-minute chart, even I don't even give a shit about that. So just wait for this. There's a buying activity in here. This is where those who are selling will probably start profit taking. So watch out for price action in here. If you're short-term selling, short-term buying, everything like that, you're definitely in a target area for sellers. So don't forget to profit take in this area. But look at this. I mean, the 15-minute chart time frame is absolutely irrational in here. So you shouldn't even give a shit about that. This is not pricing. So look at 1 hour eventually if you want to short-term trades. So if you want to intraday trades on cryptos, I can understand that even though I don't even support that. Then you're in support areas. We're below context. So you wait for a 1 hour chart signal. If you absolutely want to aggressively buy those things, then this is how it is. You have a bullish signal in here, just take it. All right. We're effectively, you can see we're ranging. This is no breakouts. All right, we do have cyclical behavior in here, so it's 2 ways down. The one is the second one, probably the one that you want to sell, you want to buy. You just need for a signal. So we're in the lower reversal area. So in terms of cyclical activity, we're good to go. You just need for a signal. You passed the price filter. All right, you passed the cyclical filter. You just need the goddamn signal. All right, so let it go for the short-term volatility. When this thing dampens and you have a bullish signal, just take it if you want to buy. That's all I see. All right. Anyway, that's it for today. We'll talk again tomorrow, hoping that until then, the fucking short sellers will leave us alone and we'll finally have something to trade. But until then, I'm sorry, but I have to cancel any underlying intraday scenario because we just can't work. Those guys are in control. They're in dangerous control over again. This is just fake control. They think they have it under control until the day they want. I don't know if this day is going to come soon. Probably it may come on Friday or on Monday, next Monday. All I know is that the timing right now is dangerous for them. They know it. I'm just speculating on this might be the one. If it isn't, then I'll try again the next time. No worries. Bye, guys.